Hello, here for another episode of Coffee and a Side of Tea. My name's Nick, and I'm here with.
Hi, I'm Samantha Nickles. I am a senior at Humboldt State studying history education, and I currently work at Youth Educational Services as the lead program consultant.
Awesome. Sounds very official. how are you enduring this quarantine, and how's your family dealing with this quarantine?
I'm finding it particularly challenging just because I consider myself more of an extrovert, and so it's really hard to get sort of the personal contact that I enjoy so much, and without going out and being with people.
Hmm.
My family's doing fine. They're all down south, so yeah, and I have my roommates up here. I'm still in Humboldt County, so
Nice.
yeah, everything's going fine.
Sweet. So what do you do during this quarantine to pass the time?
Well, homework for one, or at least I try.
Hmm.
I also have been catching up on a lot of shows and movies that I wouldn't have normally watched if it were this during the semester. And I also have been doing a lot more chores, I would say.
Yep.
Um, when you have something to do, you want to do everything else, including clean, before you do the thing you're supposed to do. So, yeah.
Yep. I feel that procrastination on homework. I'll actually do dishes willingly before I do homework.
Yeah, right.
If you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit what your daily routine is like?
Yeah, so I typically still wake up around 8 or 9 in the morning just because I've always gotten up that early. And usually just eat some breakfast. And my partner actually works here in town. And so when they go to work, before they go to work, we eat breakfast together. And then I start on my daily schedule. I really try to keep a schedule for myself. I find it's the most easiest way to actually like be productive. I don't always stick to my schedule, I will admit, but I do try my best, and just having one makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
So depending on what day it is, I'll work on various class projects, or get some reading done for classes. And depending on what day it is, I'll also be in staff meetings or doing various work projects as well. Um, and then I always make time for breaks for myself too. Like I always write in breaks because I feel like it's really important to give myself some time to just hang around and do what I want, that isn't school or work related, just so
Yeah.
that I don't feel like overwhelmed. And yeah, then lunch, dinner, all that good stuff in between.
Yep.
But mostly it's just working, leisure time, and schoolwork.
Nice. Sounds like me, but I've been doing a lot more leisure time than works, so I gotta get to work.
I have two, but yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about what your role is in the Yes House.
I'll just start by giving you a little bit of a brief sort of summary of the different roles, because that'll help you understand my role a lot better.
Sounds good.
So, first off, there's volunteer, director, program consultant, and lead consultant. And so, I've been there for 4 years, so I've been in all four roles. Um, and the two paid positions, which are program consultant and my position, um, are what I've been doing for the past 2 years. So, when you're a volunteer, you're working with a program, you're volunteering, your workload's 2 to 4 hours a week. When you're a director, you're leading volunteers and dealing with more administrative tasks, such as the safety and risk management components, as well as um, sort of communicating with the community partners one-on-one. And then as a consultant, you're mentoring directors because you've already been in that role. And
Hmm.
so you do you do semester touchdowns, and make sure that they're meeting all the checkpoints. And then as lead consultant, you're kind of doing all those things. You're supporting the consultants, you're supporting the directors, and there is minimal sort of face-to-face time with volunteers, but you still see them.
Good.
So yeah, and my job basically is a lot of behind the scenes. So what we do sort of keeps Yes running. Um, in terms of like paperwork, different activities. We train directors as well. So
Okay.
that's a really important part of our job, is just training the trainers, essentially.
Very
So
good.
it's kind of a trickle-down student-led system that allows for peers to teach each other, and by experience and by through workshops.
That's amazing. Sweet. And how has this role at HSU look like during this quarantine?
Well, everything's online now, so
Hmm.
unfortunately, we had to stop our community engagement really abruptly,
Yeah.
and some people unfortunately didn't get to go, which was a big bummer. But you know, a lot of our work is community building, and community building can take a lot of different forms.
Hmm.
People think community building, breaking bread together, being together, playing team builders and games, but also it's just about human connection, and
Hmm.
it's about sharing a passion for working in the community and sharing a passion for social justice. So I feel like in that way we have not stopped building our community, and I also think think that our role has changed because we've overcome a lot of challenges that we faced early on. So we everything that we do, everything we were going to do this year, we've kind of had to reimagine, and
Yeah.
we've had to really think outside the box and try and come up with you know solutions to problems we'd never thought we'd have to encounter.
Hmm.
So and then also it's just having to deal with the uncertainty of the future as well is something that especially my role, I'm going to be graduating this semester, and I'm on the committee to help plan the future retreat in the fall that we have. And usually we go out of the area, like an hour out of the area. So we've been having to think about contingency plans in case this continues throughout the fall. Is what
Yeah.
does a retreat look like if we don't have an in-person space?
Hmm.
Um, and what do our classes look like without a space? Um, all the internship and the volunteering is attached to one unit course. So we also think about course outcomes, and are we helping students and people in our organization meet those learning outcomes that we promise them? And we want to also make sure that this doesn't turn off people for future volunteering as well, because we're trying to do ordinary things in a very extraordinary situation. I think that can be really difficult to sort of think about and to just roll with.
Yeah. Definitely. Sounds like you have a lot on your plate. But
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are getting that stuff done. I feel like it's really important stuff that someone needs to do. So I'm glad someone's actively trying to find new ways to get this stuff done.
Yeah.
Moving on a more positive note, is there anything you would like to share for our HEC community that might help us stay motivated or positive during these times?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the first part of that question?
Yeah, of course. Is there anything you'd like to share with our HSU community, being like students, staff, faculty, anyone, that might help them stay motivated and positive during these times?
I would just say that, like, whatever happens in the future, like, we will overcome it. We have shown, I think our HSU community has really shown that um, we can cope with obstacles, and we can also think of ways to continue to support each other both on and off campus. So I'm not concerned about us not so I'm not concerned about any lack of support, because I feel like when things are rough, you know, we have always sort of been there for our campus community and the Humboldt community at large.
Mhm.
In my 4 years, I've seen a lot of different things happen. Floods, fires, just all kinds of things that are out of our control. And every single time, I've always been impressed with um, uh, the campus community's response to those needs and issues. Um, just thinking back to very recently in the fall with the power outages, I think
Yep.
we really came together in that time, and in a time where a lot of people in California are really divided. I think that we were one of the places that was really coming together and trying to support each other. And I know that we will continue to do that no matter what sort of issues or global crisis will emerge, I think we will always be there for our students and our faculty and our community.
Well, there you go. Just staying connected, staying together. We're just one big team, a big village.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah. I love that so much. So moving on yet again, talking about Zoom. I know we've all had to use Zoom a lot more nowadays. What's your experience with Zoom been like?
Zoom is fun. I have used it before this instance. So I've had other jobs on campus as well, and we've used video conferencing. That, you know, it wasn't like super new to me, but I didn't know a lot of the tricks, because I think when you're in a world where you don't have to worry about coronavirus, using Zoom you don't have to rely on Zoom for every single thing, right?
Yeah.
Like Zoom looks a lot different in the non-coronavirus world, I would say.
Yep.
But you know, we have to utilize all of the tricks and the little small shortcuts that Zoom has to offer to get things done. Like I will say, like the mute, like the just the Zoom etiquette that's come out of this, like being in a meeting with 100 people. Like what is that supposed to look like, you know? And there's just
Yeah.
that the etiquette that I'm still learning, like mute your microphone when you come in, or you know, if you're eating something noisy, mute yourself, or
Yeah.
sharing your screen, recording meetings like we're doing now is
Mm-hmm.
something I've learned. And then also just using it to run classes, and to run workshops as well has been an interesting sort of learning experience.
Really
I
has.
honestly love Zoom. Yeah.
That's awesome. I've heard a lot of back and forth things about Zoom,
Yeah.
and I'm honestly not sure where I stand yet. Like, it's great. I get my classes done, everything, and my meetings done. But at the same time, so I'm not sure if it's because of Zoom, where it's just lectures are a lot more boring now in general. It's hard to just pay attention
Yeah.
for me. But on the topic of Zoom, have you had any funny or silly moments using Zoom?
Oh, absolutely. I think one of the most fun things that we did, so we have, yes, we have all the program consultants and our coordinator and our staff, our office manager, we all have a staff meeting 4 hours a week. So we break that up, 2 1-hour days and then 1 2-hour meeting. And at the 2 hour meeting, we always try to do something fun on Zoom. And one of those things that we came up with was what we call like MTV Cribs. You've known that show, right? Like the one where you
Yeah.
walk through people's houses.
Hmm.
So one exciting thing is that we're not at the office anymore. We're in our homes, and maybe some of us have never been to each other's houses.
Yeah.
And so we had thought, well, why don't we? It started with a picture. Just take a picture and show us your office space.
Hmm.
And then it escalated to walk us through your home and show us like all your house, like MTV Cribs. And so like every
Yeah.
staff meeting, we've made time for someone to walk us through a part of their house and to show us like what's there and like what's exciting about it. And it's just been really fun. It's just a small little bright spot, I would say.
Yeah, that's a great way to connect with people.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Have never even heard anything close to that yet. That's really something else. So second to last question, why did you choose to study and work on campus at HSU?
Like in general.
Yeah, like, I don't know, why'd you come to HSU rather than any other university, and why did you choose a job at
Oh,
OCS House rather than, I don't know, the club's office like I am?
okay. Well, I would say first off that um, I came to HSU like a lot of people because it is very far north. There's water here,
Yep.
and it's a place where I like. My family's very pretty close, and so like if they wanted me to stay closer to home, but I was like, peace out, you know. So I decided to go to the farthest north university I could without paying out of state tuition, and this is what I came up with.
Nice.
And as far as working with Yes, I actually started volunteering with Yes kind of on a whim.
Oh,
I started as a volunteer and I worked my way up. And I remember the first time I took a tour of the Yes House, I saw the lead program consultant's office because like at the Yes House, like the lead consultant has their own office space.
Okay.
And so I saw that office and I was like, you know what? One day I want that job. And
Wow.
4 years later, I have that job, and I love Yes so much. I can't quantify it for you. It's just, it's an amazing organization. It's almost 52 years old. It's been on campus
Wow.
for, half a century.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And, some of the partnerships we've had in the community are that long.
Wow.
So it's such a wonderful experience to volunteer with the program. I had done volunteering before, yes, and I just feel very connected to whatever community I'm in, and I really want to, you know, uh, make those connections because they're really important. And
Yeah.
I think that anytime you're in a community, especially a new one, I moved up here, I didn't know anybody or anything. No one from my high school came here.
Yeah.
So I just felt like if I'm going to make this my home, I should invest my time and my energy into the community in some way, whether it be bettering the community or working with the community to solve larger problems. I think is really important to me.
That's amazing, and so many congratulations for getting your dream job. That's
Thank you.
so awesome. That's You only hear that every day, and that's I'm very happy for you, to say the least.
Thank you.
Well, now to finish off this little interview, it's just a quick series of a few this or that questions. Just
Okay,
try to do as fast as you can without thinking, get the most honest answer possible.
got it. I'm ready.
All right. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Rain or sun?
Rain.
Theater or cinema?
Cinema.
Singing or dancing?
Dancing.
Captain America or Iron Man?
Captain America.
um, Apple or Android?
Android.
What's worse, laundry or dishes?
Ooh, laundry.
Okay, for sure. Um, what goes better for a movie, candy or popcorn?
Candy.
Nice. Book or TV?
TV.
Pizza or tacos?
Tacos.
Nice. And last one, breakfast or dinner?
Ooh, breakfast.
I like that.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm out of questions. Do you have any questions you want to ask me?
Um, what is one thing that you are proud of in this quarantine? Like, what's something you've done or said or something that you've been really proud of?
Wow, that's a good question.
I come up with checking questions for each staff meeting, so
Oh, well, there you go.
they're right here.
You got them on deck. Let's see. Well, I feel like something I can be proud of is I think I've been dealing with this transition pretty well, going to online and
Hmm.
having to move out of Humboldt. I'm also a senior. This is my last semester, and my parents didn't want me to stay in Humboldt for the quarantine. They wanted me to stay here at home, so I had to move back here. I got all my stuff from Humboldt back here in just one weekend. Oh, my dog woke up.
Wow.
Scared me. um, and yeah, so it's been rough, but I think for the most part, I've been managing to deal with it in a positive way. So I think that's what I'm happy about. I'm proud about.
That's wonderful. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing.
of course, yeah. And thank you for your time. It's a great interview.
Yes, thank you for doing this. I'm really excited.
Awesome, me too. We're posting this on Wednesdays. Wednesdays when we post these every week.
Okay.
So
And where is it posted at?
we're posting it on the club's Instagram and YouTube channels.
Ooh, okay, cool.
All right. See you soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.